First thing you've got to know is it all began with corn, because corn is the only plant that lines up in rows, eats fossil fuel fertilizer, and does what it's told. So, corn has been taking over the world for the last 60 years. While it did that, it pushed all other plant life and biodiversity out of the way. That's point one. Did you get it? Yeah. Okay, so then the greedy people saw that corn was a commodity that they could trade in like money. And they began manipulating the market. Then the war in Vietnam came along, and Monsanto's first product was called Agent Orange. In the Vietnamese War, 1 million people were killed or disabled with Agent Orange. There were 5,600 bombing runs to defoliate Vietnam and Cambodia. This is what the U.S. did to those poor countries, and Monsanto was the instrument of those deaths and that destruction. So it took them a little while, but they got smarter, and now, or perhaps more clever, and now they've found out how to put the same poison inside of an orange. They went from Agent Orange to in the orange. Do you see it? This is our dilemma. So, then, the next thing that happened is the war in the grocery store. Now the war's in the grocery store. That's the whole thing. An army crawls on its belly. So if you get this, you get that the greed of the world is now understood, that three things are certain: death, taxes, and groceries. So, if you can't win this war, you will lose all the others. That's it. If you lose the grocery war, it's done. Because you are what you eat. And you'll be made into the siblings of the monster if you don't fight the monster. So if I told you the real truth, what Monsanto has done is they have weaponized corn. How did they do that? They put a little bit of poison inside each corn kernel, so that every creature that eats it has their stomach explode. What a horrid thing to do. Only a monster would even think of that. But what they really are is a weapons company that got into food because they saw that's where they could exercise the maximum control. And right now, their crony in Washington, Obama, oh, did I say it wrong? Obama, the drone king, has partnered with Monsanto, the clone king. And who else? Their mediary, the FDA, which is frigging dictatorial association to control food and make it no longer food until the definition is gone. So, it's just like this. It's Monsanto and the FDA and Obama have started a daycare center. This is like getting a serial killer and a kidnapper to start a daycare center. They're giving your children their food, and they're serial killers because every time the kids eat cornflakes, they're getting killed. So, the next thing is, no more food dictatorship in the world. All the countries of the world are getting it. Dictatorship. Regional food, organic food, food by farmers. That's where it begins, that's where it ends. Now, guess who Monsanto's best friend is? You guessed, Walmart. Right? So this is Frankenfood and his disformed Igor, his little monster, Ligor. Because Ligor won't put it on the label. Ladies and gentlemen, the label is libel. You got it? The label is libel. So this label is libel. Label is libel. And this is where we'll get Monsanto. We'll stop them if they have to tell the truth, because they don't have any. So this is your power. Your power is to get them to tell the truth. And that's the only way you can bring this out in the open. Because vampires don't like light, and monsters like this don't like truth.